All right, what is going on, guys? UFC Fight Night, Mexico City. Moreno versus Erceg has gone and passed, and these are going to be the fights to make after the event. Also going to be doing a little bit of recap on and my reaction to the fights I have on the screen here. I felt these were the most important fights, if you will, that happened on the card, at least to me. The ones I cared about the most. On some of them, maybe not so much cared about. I recorded a video last night. The file got corrupted. I didn't have time to re-record it, so I just want to make it all in one video for this one. We're going to start off right over at the main event. Brandon Moreno defeats Steve Erceg via unanimous decision, winning 4 rounds to 1, I believe, on all judges' scorecards. The only round I gave Erceg was the 3rd round. He looked like most of the fight he was just backing up, and he wasn't really throwing. He wasn't really throwing with any intent behind it. He was throwing shots, but nothing super powerful. Moreno landed the better shots. I think Erceg might have landed more shots, but Moreno landed the more impactful shots. And you could tell Erceg was trying to be aware of the power from Moreno, even though he's not like a one-shot KO power type of puncher. You could tell he was still worried. And for Moreno, he calls for a title shot afterwards. He doesn't deserve one. I understand he was a 2-time champion, but he's lost to the current champion, I think, 4 times now. Yes, his last fight with him was the most competitive fight they've had, and you could even make a case for Moreno winning that. I still think he needs one more win. He's defended his position twice now. Once against Amir Albazi, which is a solid win. Amir was on a good win streak. And once against Steve Erceg, which is Steve Erceg is still a top 10 fighter, in my opinion. But he's on a bit of a losing streak now. So what I think you need to do is run back Brandon versus Brandon Royval versus Brandon Moreno. Run that back, winner of that fight, because they're kind of both in the same position. I want some fresh contenders for Pantoja. And really the only 2 that pop out right now, and they're not even fresh contenders, is Manel Kape and Kai France. Manel Kape, I think, is on a 3-fight winning streak currently. Kai France is only on a 1-fight winning streak. So just by going off of that, I would give Kape the title shot over Kai France. But maybe they'd make them 2 fight. Winner of that fight gets the title shot. I don't know. Ideally, what I would do in that situation is just give Kape the title shot. In the meantime, have Brandon Moreno and Brandon Royval fight again. The winner of that fight can then fight the winner of Kape and Pantoja. Let Kai France get a couple more wins together. Because every time he's fought outside of Erceg, every time he's fought top 5 level opposition, he has lost. In the flyweight division, that is. So I think that's what you do. And then for Steve Erceg, I know he's on a bit of a slide, but he needs to defend his position. So I'm going to put him up against Tagir Ulanbekov. He's on a couple fight win streak right now. I think he deserves a step up in competition. In the past, when he's gotten it, he's lost. I lost to Tim Elliott before. Someone else, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think this would be a good fight. I think it's a very winnable fight for Steve Erceg as well. I think he has good enough grappling to keep Tagir off of him. And the striking on the feet, if Erceg just puts a little pop in his shots, I think he could definitely defeat Tagir Ulanbekov. Moving up, co-main event winner, Manuel Torres gets it done via KO in the 1st round. Brutal KO, late stoppage. The ref definitely stepped in there too late. Dober was out. I mean, he was out, and his hands were just sitting, like resting on top of each other. Late stoppage. They really need to. I know it kind of looked, from the TV, it kind of looked like, okay, maybe he's still trying to get this takedown, but you could tell he wasn't going to get it. The ref should have been able to get in there quicker. So good bounce back win for Manuel Torres. This is what I came up for him. Mateus Rebecki. He's on a bit of a streak right now. So I would say if he could get past Manuel Torres, he's probably deserving of a top 15 opponent. The lightweight division is just so stacked with talent. It's hard to match up with guys because so many guys deserve to fight in that top 15 to try and get into it. And like Rebecki, you could almost make the argument that he already is deserving. But I think this would be a great matchup. He's coming off that war with Oralby, Rebecki is. So I think this would be a great matchup, a fun fight. Would be really stoked to see it. Moving on to Drew Dober. Drew Dober's done. All we're gonna get is fun fights from here on out for Drew Dober. He's not gonna make a run in the top 15 again. Oddly enough, I think him and Justin Gaethje would be a fun fight, but that doesn't make sense logistically. Justin Gaethje's I think ranked 3, 2 or something like that. I think he's ranked 3, maybe even 4. I don't remember. Anyway, I think this would be a very fun, exciting fight. Then is Jakar Close. Close has recently, within the last few months, lost via KO to Joel Alvarez. So I think you could put these two guys together, both coming off of KO losses. We need to give Drew Dober 5 to 6 months to recover. I'm sure Close, he doesn't fight that often, so I'm sure he would. Drew Dober's a pretty big name, so I'm sure he would wait and sit out towards the end of this year. We get Drew Dober versus Jakar Close, and this will be a very fun, exciting matchup between the two of them. Moving up, Edgar Chairez gets it done via first round rear naked choke versus CJ Vergara. Again, for a second, I thought we were going to get Edgar Chairez by decision, because after he hurt CJ Vergara, I thought Vergara was going to start running laps. But he didn't. He wasn't able to run laps. Chairez got him down, got the rear naked choke after he hurt him badly. He's kind of had a mixed bag of results in the UFC. I believe he's 2-2. With 1 no contest maybe, or 1 draw. I can't remember what it was. So I gave him, I think this would be a fun matchup, a good fight, and Charles Johnson. Johnson just lost, I can't remember the guy's name, but he just got out of the rankings. So this would be a fun way, if Chairez can get past Johnson, maybe you could throw him in there with somebody in that lower half of the 10 to 15 rankings. He's a fan favorite fighter. He's always in exciting fights. I would lean Charles Johnson in this, but Chairez has some pretty good grappling submissions, and that's the best way to beat Charles Johnson is to out-grapple. Moving up, Raul Rosas Jr. calls for a top 15 opponent. He is not ready. If they give him a top 15 opponent, he's going to lose. There's a couple of guys, maybe he could go out there and out-grapple, but other than that, he didn't look particularly good in this fight either. Won the first and second round solely by grappling. He wasn't really doing that much ground and pound, that much damage. It was mainly control, kind of looking for submissions, but not really. I think the first round, he landed better on the feet, but then got the takedown and, a couple times looked for the rear naked choke, but again, same in the second round. And then the third round, I gave it to, whatever the guy's name. I got ready to forget the guy's damn name. I can see his face in my head, but I don't remember his name. But anyway, gave him the last round. Was it Morales? Vince Morales, I think. Gave him the third round. Rule wins via 29-28 decision. He's not ready for a top 15. I'm giving him someone could backfire on him, and that is Ronnie Barcelos. He just fraud checked Peyton Talbot. Can he fraud check? Raul Rosas Jr. I think if Raul can get past Ronnie Barcelos, then that would seal his case, because he's older, but he's a veteran of the UFC, of the sport. But he's not a bum by any stretch of the imagination. Ronnie Barcelos is not a bum. So if he can get past Barcelos, and Barcelos has good grappling, that's how he beat Peyton Talbot, was out grappling him. So this would definitely be, I think, Raul's toughest test of his career yet. But yeah, I think International Fight Week, I think he did mention he wanted to fight then. This would be a great fight to put on that card. Good test for him. If he gets past him, then I think he'd be ready for somebody in that top 15 of that bantamweight division. Moving up the card, we had David Martinez gets the first round KO. I don't remember the guy's name. Oh well. The only reason I put him on here is because he got a cool finish. And I paired him up with Garrett Armfield. Garrett Armfield has some experience in the UFC. I believe he's like 2-3 in the UFC. So he's won a couple of fights. He is coming off of a loss currently, but I thought he won that fight. So, Armfield is exciting. Martinez is exciting. He's in fun fights so far. And Armfield as well. He'd be a good solid test, stepping stone for Martinez if he wants to continue up the ranks in the bantamweight division. Moving up, Melquizael Costa defeated Christian Rodriguez. Very clearly, in my opinion. I thought he won the first and second round. Then I gave Christian Rodriguez that third round. Was able to implement the grappling in the third round, hold Melquizael Costa down, and do some pretty good ground and pound. The first round, Costa hurt Christian Rodriguez. I don't understand why fighters do this. They get their opponent hurt and then they shoot for takedowns or they clinch up against the cage. I'd never understand it. He could have finished him, but started to gas out in the third round. Wasn't able to defend the takedowns as easily or get up as easily as he was in the first and second round. Definitely had the physicality advantages, which is why I picked him to win. Again, he's like borderline. He's getting close to being able to deserving a crack of that top 15. I know he has a couple of losses in the UFC. I have him paired up with Alex Caceres. I think this will be a very fun, striking matchup. They're both like mainly strikers. They both have good kicks. They both have pretty good grappling as well. Nothing, super, super good, but they're both decent in the grappling. I think it would be a very fun, exciting matchup. Moving up, Lupe Godinez wins via unanimous decision the first and second round. Was able to out-grapple her opponent. I can't remember the lady's name. I think it was Julia something. Took a shit in between rounds 2 and 3. Came back. Didn't really do a whole lot in the third round because she wasn't able to wipe her ass. And didn't want to get shit all over the octagon. But gets walked down and uses a punching bag in the third round to lose the third round. Listen, she defended her spot. She got back on the winning track. I'm okay with giving her someone up in the rankings a little bit. And then is Yasmin Lucindo. She just lost her last fight. She needs to defend her spot against Lupe Godinez. Moving up, Jamal Emmers. Again, got first round KO. Give him Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson kind of bag of mixed results in the UFC as well as Emmers. So I think this would be a fun fight to kind of see, who's going to stay, who's going to go. I think Emmers has definitely won more than he's lost in the UFC. Nelson might have a losing record in the UFC. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think if Emmers can get past Kyle Nelson, then he would definitely stake his claim in that division and maybe 2 more wins and get a crack at the top 15. What did you guys think of UFC fight in Mexico City? Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of my picks for fights to make after the event? If you have any different fights, let me know in the comment section down below. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.